Even during the Second World War, attacks on diplomatic missions were unheard of. According to the 1961 Vienna Convention, embassy and consular premises should be protected even in times of war. But on April 1st, Monday, an annex of Iran's embassy in Damascus, the Syrian capital, came under airstrikes. At least 13 Iranians, including General Mohammad Reza Zahedi, the Quds Force commander who was in charge of the Revolutionary Guards Syria operations, were killed in the attack. Hello everyone, this is Stanley Johnny, the Hindu's International Affairs editor. There is no prize in guessing who was behind the Damascus attack. Iran immediately blamed Israel. Israel neither confirms nor rejects that it's carrying out airstrikes in Syria. But it's now an open secret. A few days earlier, Israel had attacked a weapons depot in northern Syria, killing at least 38 Syrian soldiers and half a dozen Hezbollah fighters. A day after the embassy attack, Israel's defense minister Yoav Gallant said, "We are in a multi-front war, offensively and defensively. We are acting everywhere and every day to prevent the strengthening of our enemies," Mr. Gallant said. The recent spell of the crisis began on October 7, when Hamas, the Palestinian Islamist group that has Iran's backing, carried out a cross-border attack in Israel, killing at least 1,200 people. Since then, Israel has carried out dozens of airstrikes in Syria and Lebanon, besides its ongoing full-throttled invasion of the Gaza Strip, hitting Iranian, Syrian and Hezbollah targets. If you look at today's West Asia, the main rival powers are Israel and Iran. Israel has working relationship with Arab countries, but it sees Iran as its main enemy. Iran is the backer of all anti-Israel non-state actors in the region, be it Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis or the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Even before the October 7 attack, a shadow war was going on between Israel and Iran. Iran had targeted Israeli diplomats in foreign locations in the past, while Israel had carried out a number of assassinations of Iranian nuclear scientists, including Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who was known as the father of Iran's nuclear program. Post-October 7, Israel launched a two-pronged offensive. One was, of course, the invasion of Gaza. It wants to destroy Hamas's military capabilities in Gaza and release the hostages who were taken by Hamas on October 7. Two, it stepped up the shadow war with Iran by openly targeting Iranian figures. As former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett once put it, Israel sees Iran as the head of the octopus, while the proxy militias are its tentacles. Israel is now attacking both the head and the tentacles at the same time. On December 25, 2023, Sayyid Razi Mousavi, a senior Iranian military advisor, was killed in an Israeli strike in Syria. Several Hezbollah commanders were killed in airstrikes deep inside Lebanon. The war on Gaza is not proceeding as per Israel's plan. 6 months of fighting has nearly isolated Israel internationally. The high civilian toll in Gaza, over 32,000 Palestinians have been killed, a vast majority of them women and children. This toll has triggered an international outcry. The United Nations Security Council passed a resolution just last month demanding an immediate ceasefire. The Biden administration continues to back Israel militarily, but there is a growing uneasiness in the relationship between the two countries. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's position at home is also weak. There is a groundswell of anger towards the Prime Minister from Israeli public. Israel has been witnessing protests by thousands demanding an early election. Mr. Netanyahu's cabinet is divided as the war grinds on. The embattled Prime Minister seems eager to escalate the regional confrontation with Iran. The attack on the embassy annex, which has been labelled as the consular section, was clearly a major escalation in the ongoing Israel-Iran shadow war. The message Israel is sending to Iran is clear. Israel has exact intelligence on the movement of senior Iranian military figures, and they are not safe anywhere in Syria and Lebanon, even in Iran's embassy buildings. In other words, Israel seems determined to roll back Iran's influence in its neighborhood, even at the risk of an open conflict. In the past, Iran's response to these Israeli attacks has been muted for two possible reasons. One, Iran doesn't want to give Israel what it wants, an open regional war. It would rather wait and see how Israel manages the mess in Gaza, while pro-Iran militias would keep needling Israel on the borders. Two, Iran's military doctrine itself is rooted in avoiding direct confrontation with bigger powers. Just take a look at Iran's military doctrine. In 1982, just 3 years after the Islamic Revolution, Iran helped found Hezbollah. Ever since, Iran has built a network of proxy militias that enhanced its asymmetric powers in the region. It always operates through these networks, not directly. Iran knows that an open war with Israel would be disastrous for the whole region, and it could draw the United States also into the war. A war with America is something which Iran doesn't want to happen. So, there is a strong argument in favor of strategic restraint. Israel also knows this, and Israel is keen to test the depths of Iran's strategic patience. This is also an escalation ladder. Every time Israel carries out a strike against Iran, it drills holes into the Islamic Republic's deterrence. Iran's inability or refusal to respond militarily to Israel's provocations empowers Israel further. General Mohammad Reza Zahedi, who was killed in the Damascus consulate attack, was a top Quds Force commander. If Iran cannot protect even its top-most generals, it raises questions about its security and intelligence apparatus. And if Iran doesn't respond to an attack on its consulate, which killed a top military officer, it may not be the last such attack Iran is facing. This leaves the mullahs of Tehran in a dilemma. Should they respond or restrain themselves? If they want to bolster Iran's weak deterrence, they have to respond. But they have to do so without triggering an open war with Israel, which is not in their interests. Thank you everyone for watching. For more such videos, subscribe to The Hindu.